Hello and welcome to Jan's Views Livestream. Livestream tonight. Where is everybody? No doubt everyone's gone live. Never mind. Tonight we are going to revisit the family vloggers and in particular the Saccone Jolys. For those of you that haven't heard about them, why haven't you heard about them? My other video, I spoke about them, and this week I want to speak about them again. Hi, Rye. How are you, sweetheart? Hope you're well. So I want to speak about them again, and I've actually managed to get somebody to come along and speak about them as well, because she knows a great deal about them, and yeah, she knows a lot more about their more recent shenanigans. So let's just have a reminder of who I may be talking about.
They're back. I know I said they were back last time, but like I said they were back in relation to like they hadn't really left because they were doing live streams anyway. So now Jonathan has been toying with the idea. He was toying with the idea, bear in mind, less than 10 days later, I think it was literally, they lasted 9 days. They lasted 9 days where they weren't on YouTube. The whole point is to literally try us off of YouTube. I said this before, it was like a knee-jerk reaction, suddenly just disappear. People giving me whiplash, and I'm saying this in the comment section, I've got whiplash, like, screw my legs feel like lead, but my neck hurts from the amount of twisting and like what is going on.
Poor Amy. So let's introduce lovely Amy to I nearly said sweet talk. Not sweet talk.
Hi.
Hi, darling. How are you?
You right? I'm good. You're right.
There's a bad echo, is there? Okay, let me
Slight.
check this out. Hi, Texas. How are you, darling?
There's a slight echo somewhere.
Is there? It's probably me. Maybe I need to turn my mic down a little bit. Let's see. This normally happens.
Yeah, it's just through the video a little bit.
Yeah. So it's gone now, has it? Let me turn my mic volume down a fraction and see if that helps. Is that any better? Is that better? Anyway, so hello to Amy. It's gone now. Thank goodness for that. Honestly, I'm hopeless with audio. So Amy has a channel. Amy, do you want to tell us about your channel?
My channel. Okay, well, I do lots of. Basically, my channel's a bit of an evolution. I used to do a lot of more lifestyle-y, cooking, cleaning kind of things, and then when the Saccone Jolys went through their whole breakthrough a little while ago with the whole exploiting Edie situation, I made one video and then it went massive, and then everyone wanted to hear about it, and then it sort of snowballed into me talking about other people. And then before you know it, it's just commentary, basically. But I do a little bit of everything. But I do talk about the Saccone Jolys a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny because when I first wanted to start talking about them, I didn't know if there was anybody that was talking about them. So
it's the problem, yeah.
That's how I found you. I think what it is, it's that you worry that because they're so big and we're so small, that they're going to go like that and you're going to be sent scuttling off the internet.
Well, if it's not them, it's all of their supporters who will quite literally hound you. And my videos are never nasty, or I like to think that they're not. They're kind of, I try and add a bit of comedy if I can, but I try and make it upbeat. It depends what the topic's about.
Yeah.
But even so, you will still have people who will attack and attack and attack and attack for not a lot of reason, really. So that's quite difficult, to be honest.
I get that a lot. People love to attack me. They love to attack this.
Oh no! Don't say
Oh,
that.
they do, trust me.
That's so mean. Why would they attack you?
Oh, because I can do this.
You talk.
I,
Everyone talks though, don't they?
yeah, I know, but some people don't like it if you're a bit loud, and I am a bit loud. I've no idea where everybody is. Texas, would you mind sharing this, please, on Twitter for us? Because yeah, this is weird, not having many people in, but never mind, we can still carry on. Um, yeah, so as I said last week, I found Amy's channel and I liked it. And the reason why I liked it, it was because I found her to be very fair. I thought I agreed with the things she said. And, she wasn't just spurting hate towards this family, because it's difficult, Amy. I mean, you probably feel this when you're talking about a family. You don't want it to sound as if you're literally, slagging off them as a
No.
family. You want it to be, a constructive conversation about it, and
Yeah, of course.
without pulling out individuals,
Yeah. Yeah.
especially when it's
Yeah.
children.
Well, it's even harder when you talk about this because you're talking about something so personal and something something that shouldn't ever be put online anyway. You're then commentating on it, and you've got to be so careful with what you say, and you don't want to upset people.
Yeah.
Which can make it can, because you're not only talking about family that some may hate or love, but you're also talking about a whole group of people. And I've been
Yeah.
quite fortunate where I have people from the trans community say, or the LGBTQ, plus community, who have said to me, who shared their stories, and it's been all lovely. And have said, no, I like the way you've handled it, which has given me a peace of mind. Because I think if that wasn't the case and you weren't handling it very well, you've just upset like millions of people. Do you know what I mean? So it's difficult then. But then there's there's other things as well. It's just there's definitely some commentary channels where they take it a bit too harsh, but it's just horses for courses. Some people may hate my sort of more laid back approach, and they might like someone being a bit harsher, but I don't know. I try and treat people fairly, I suppose.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's interesting, I think, particularly, and the point I was trying to make when I was talking about them last time was that I found that a lot of what they were doing was clickbait,
Yeah.
and it was actually using their children as clickbait as well, and I didn't agree with that. In fact, I had a fallout with the drama community 18 months ago, and it
Really?
basically started because I called out somebody who was holding their baby in their arms and screaming at the same time into the camera, and I just said that I thought that was like, no, you shouldn't be doing that. So getting back to the Saccone Jolys, I think because I found that they were using anything as clickbait, it just seems wrong to me.
They used to do it. Yeah, they used to do it all the time with their pregnancies and all of this kind of stuff. They used to insinuate that Anna might be pregnant, and that was quite clickbaity in itself. I think they definitely toned it down towards the end, but I think it's because they were definitely getting less views, weren't they? Really, but they did definitely, back in the day, they used to do a lot of clickbait. But you'll never know because loads of those videos have now been taken down. So how are you supposed to know? I had a little look and I was like, oh, there's loads of these videos have gone. But Jonathan said that he would take down all of them that weren't birthday and celebrations, but yet all of Edie's journey is still up there. So and they're the ones that have done the best recently.
Exactly.
So I don't understand. I just don't understand. Make it make sense, because it just doesn't.
Yeah,
Just doesn't.
yeah, I agree with you. And I think I think that's what people do find uncomfortable when we feel that somebody is capitalizing on what's going on in the family as regards to children, because at the end of the day, the children can't say yes or no to having the camera put in their face. So what I think is quite a good idea is for us to respond or react to his latest TikToks, Jonathan's latest TikToks. So I'm going to,
right.
and I think that would be
He's
quite
done a
good
reel as well quite recently. I think it's on Instagram, but he did a reel where he was explaining what it means to be non-binary or something.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Yeah, for the 5th billionth time. I'm not in
Oh,
any way, shape, or form ever belittling it. I'm just saying that we've heard this story about 500 times now. But yeah, I do understand.
yeah, Anyway, so let's give people a chance to hear for themselves what this man has to say, and also to, then they can get their own thoughts on it. But I think it'd be quite nice if we can respond also. I have to say that at this point, this is Jonathan talking about him publicizing the fact that his 7-year-old son now wants to be known as his 7-year-old daughter. So let's hear what he's got to say about this.
Yeah, he was being asked questions, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He opened himself up to be asked questions when they deleted all their videos. Yeah, this was him.
And I think it's important to see his stance on it, and also to see how he responds to it. And anyway, let's get on with it and let's see.
Or is she not going to school me? Add someone positive. I don't know the difference between a positive and negative person.
That seems a strange thing to say. He doesn't know the difference between a positive and negative person.
I think he gets so much hate that I genuinely think he knows, like I think he was probably just looking at the chat, do you know what I mean? Trying to assess which one was good, which one was bad. But I think he gets so much backlash on a regular basis.
I see.
I don't think he knows.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Keep just saying the shower thing, like okay, I hear you. How can you miss Eduardo? Thank you. Okay, that's not working. So
okay, so in this particular part, I have to clarify, I suppose. Eduardo is his 7-year-old son, who now wants to be known as Edie, his 7-year-old daughter.
Some people really don't like it.
Yeah. I have to say, that's how I feel. I think 7 is way too young, and if it was happening, keep it private. Don't use it for clickbait. That's how I feel.
This is exactly the reason why it's so hard to commentate on it, because you don't want to upset people.
Exactly.
It's why it is hard to comment. It's just the reason why, because you then got to be quite careful with your words and things.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as I'm aware, I've never heard from her that she doesn't want to be known as this. So I've always respected it and just gone. And whether or not that's even the right thing to do, I don't know. It's one of those really difficult situations. But yeah,
I mean, I realise there's obviously a generational thing. I mean, my grandchildren are his age, are his kids' age. But having said that, I think I'm fairly open-minded.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Definitely. And I just feel for the sake of the child,
it's not you. That's the thing. It's because it's such a because this shouldn't be made public knowledge. This is what people end up getting into argument. Do you know what I mean? It's why people start attacking other people, going, "Oh, well, this is what you should be thinking. This is what you." The only things that I don't disagree with is when people start being transphobic in the comment section.
Yeah,
That's not helping anyone.
no, it's not, and I
But
don't
no,
agree
you're
with that.
very
I don't
open-minded.
agree with any kind of phobia.
Yeah.
But I just feel when it's concerning children, I think it's a different matter. I mean, when he came out as binary or non-binary,
Yeah.
I have to say I raised my eyes and thought, "Oh, Jonathan, what else are you going to come up with?" That's how it affected me. But I guess some people are going to take it seriously. I don't know. I mean, what were your thoughts when he came out as non-binary?
I've got so many friends that are actually within the LGBTQ plus community. And it's the point where maybe it is a generational thing, but I've grown up with people for so long that have very obviously said and displayed that they don't want to be either. So for me, when I heard it, I was almost like, why are we being told this? But I think it's because maybe I'm more used to it. And this is from me, who now I'm 25 and I live in the countryside, the middle of nowhere. But once upon a time, I didn't. And I think I'm more used to it. I didn't really understand. I was like, great, that's great. It's good that you can say that. But he now goes on and on and on and on and on about it. And it's become the focal point of sort of his social media, which makes people question whether or not it's authentic or not. But if that's what he wants to do, go for it. It doesn't affect me in any way, shape, or form. But I did. I obviously, after like the second or third time he made a reel about it, it was always plugged in before read my book, because it's never I'm non-binary, it's always I'm non-binary but read my book to find out more. And that read my book to find out more, it just makes you question everything. It's just like, just stop, because he came out with the book all about it and then it turned out the book wasn't really about it. And I
didn't know about that.
It's the book. Yeah, it's the whole thing with the book. He went away and he wrote a book. He came out, he did a coming out video, and then at the end of it said, "But you need to read my book." He didn't come out as anything, but he made this what's it called? It's what you just said earlier. He said like, "Oh, coming out," but then he wasn't actually coming out. He was just getting click on it. Yeah, but then he said at the very, very end, "Buy my book." And then it turns out, if you read the reviews, people were annoyed. People who didn't even know who they were annoyed. The only people that liked it were their fans. Like, honestly, it was a mess.
I think because I've followed them for a long time. I remember when they first started, shortly before they had Amelia. So, I used to watch them a long, long time ago.
Wow. Long time.
And I did. I watched all the birth videos, and I think because I've seen all the clickbaiting he's done, when he does say things now, I just take it with a pinch of salt. And I must admit, I did think that when I first saw that bit that he was saying about
understandable.
He was non-binary, because I thought, "Oh, Jonathan, come on now." He also did one where he said he was sexually abused.
I did.
Did you see that?
I never saw the video, but I've heard about it, and then I've also heard that, and I don't want to speculate that it isn't true, because I don't want to take that away from him. That might very well be true. He says it's true. I'm not going to question it. But there were also, there's loads of things around that. But I do remember him. I remember the video he did. It came out with a video, and I think for them, it's like we've all got to remember that their whole life for 14 years has been making money off of YouTube. So they're going to do whatever they can to sustain their lifestyle. Like they made millions. If you make millions, you're just going to carry on doing whatever makes you millions, They've got nothing else. I would hate to rely on social media as my money. as like a money
Yeah.
maker.
Oh God.
Must be so
Yeah, so would
stressful,
I.
mustn't it?
Yeah. Oh God, I can't imagine. Okay, let's listen to this then.
Oh, let's say no to this one. Somebody put their hand. Uh-oh. Now I can't get that one to go away. Let's try this one. Oh no. Jeez, now I've had it.
I think,
Oh,
sorry,
good girl.
what I was trying to say, what I meant to say was that this particular one, I think, got under his skin because somebody had said to him, do you miss Eduardo? Because, you know, now he's got Edie and not Eduardo. But he didn't answer it. He just sort of brushed it aside. Oh, well, that's a stupid question. When in actual fact, I don't think it is a stupid question. Because, you know, if he's now suddenly got a daughter as opposed to, you know, having a son, of course, I would have thought he's going to miss the son. I mean, that's the way I think. So I don't know why he was so dismissive there.
I can't work out if he was saying, do you miss Eduardo or I miss Eduardo? Do you know what I mean? I don't know if it was the commenter that said that. I'm not sure who said it.
Yeah, I think it was a question aimed at Jonathan, and I think he, you know, as you see, he didn't want to answer it. But let's move on.
Hello. But now there's one underneath it, and I can't get rid of it. Oh, geez. Hello, is it Isabel?
Hello.
Hello, Isabel.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thanks. I watched your live saying about the Mile High Club being a joke in the video. But what I don't understand is that you know that the Mile High Club is about having sex, basically. And you made that joke with one of your children. But I just don't understand like why you'd say it's a joke when you know what it's about.
Because it was funny. You know, it might.
See now, did you know about this one?
Yeah, he did. He said, "Oh, we're in the Mile High Club now," or something when he was changing. I think it was Amelia when she was really little in the airplane toilets.
Oh,
It was obviously. Thing is, I think in a way, Jonathan's just not very good at talking. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's not very good at explaining the things. And even though, yeah, I mean, I would never say that even if it was in private to my child. Like, it wouldn't even cross my mind. I just don't think he's very good at then explaining it.
Yeah.
And it just makes him look worse. He
Yeah.
just shouldn't have to publicly talk to people. It sounds so mean, but he's just not. He'd be like the worst PR person, is what I'm trying to say. He's not the greatest at. Yeah. Anyway, but he now explains it. But I do remember that. Yeah.
Let's listen to his explanation.
Head at the time, which was about 8 years ago, I was referring to the fact that when you're a single person and you haven't got children, you know, it's like my Saturday nights are like watching Netflix. My life is boring now because I have children. So in the context of the joke, the Mile High, so I said, this is what the Mile High Club is like for parents. That's what I said in the little clip, because I was referring to when you have children, you don't have sex in the toilet in an airplane. You're changing a nappy.
See, I don't see the reference there at all. I don't see what he's trying to get there. Do you?
Yeah. This is the problem. He just shouldn't talk. He just shouldn't answer the question. No matter what he says, it's not going to look good. And this is always what I think. This is why I made a video about this. Him doing these. He deleted all his videos and then he then started doing these TikTok lives with these like really, I don't know how old they were. They might have even been my age, but they sound younger than me. So doing these TikToks with these people asking him these questions. And I'm just like, that is your worst nightmare. What? It's like some sort of weird fear factor thing. I don't know why he was doing it. I just don't know. I don't think you could have said anything that would have made that sound any better, to be honest. He just shouldn't have really said it. He should have known. It wouldn't have come across very well, but he does say YouTube was a different place. But how different could it have been 8 years ago? I just don't.
I think, you know, he just doesn't grasp that, you know, that his inappropriateness is wrong in circumstances, in certain situations, especially as a father. And I think he misses all that. By saying, you know, oh, well, yeah, I thought it was funny. Well, it wasn't about you. It's about you being a father and being inappropriate when you're with your children. So he needs a spokesman.
Yeah, I know.
He's the wrong person.
They used to have one. They used to be with Gleam. They used to have like a management team. You used to see them quite a bit. They had like Alfie and Zoella and stuff, and now they don't. And it shows.
Yes, yeah. So are Alfie and Zoella no longer around for them?
Well, they haven't been friends with them for a while, with what I gather. I don't know like the ins and outs of their relationship, but they were all under Gleam management.
Yes.
So
and
I think
Louise Pentland.
Yeah, I think they were all trying to like build each other up because they were like the big British, next best things. You know what I mean? So they're trying to like band them in together. But I don't think they talk now. No, definitely not. I think I think Jonathan. Where was this? I don't know where I read it, but I'm pretty sure Jonathan said that Alfie and Zoella are hypocritical because they show their baby, but it's not really like comparable, if you know what I mean. But I don't know. I can't exactly find you those receipts, so I read it somewhere. But
well, it is hypocritical of one family to speak derogatively about another family who have earned, you know, millions by showing their children. I mean, that was another reason why I stopped watching them, because it was and every time she kept having a baby nearly every year, and I was like, oh, for God's sake, stop, you know.
Yeah, she did have a baby. Yeah, she did, because I found her when she got pregnant with, I think she'd just found out.
Yeah.
Very first time I ever heard about her was when she was having a miscarriage, which was really quite sad.
Yes.
And I found out I was pregnant, and I was terrified of that happening to me. So I actually Googled, this is exactly how I found them. I Googled YouTube miscarriage stories. For some, I don't know, you know, when you're first pregnant and you're just freaking out about everything. Yeah. And Anna did that miscarriage video, didn't she? And I instantly loved her. I was like, I know, I loved her. I was like, oh, I love this person. And then I started following her, and then that was it for about 3 years. Yeah, that's basically how I found them.
But I found them back in the day when I think they were still living in Ireland. I've watched them
for longer than me.
From when they were living in Ireland, and they were just completely different people, much more, I would say, much more genuine. Jonathan's always been very irritating to me, but I also saw the first birth, and then I saw the miscarriage one, and you can't help but feel for them. And it was because it was so sad, but it's just a shame. You know, maybe if he allowed Anna to speak a bit more,
I loved Anna's channel. Yeah, I really liked her channel. I really liked her What I Eat Wednesdays. They were like my favorite.
Oh, did you?
I really liked her foodie ones. Yeah. But then as soon as Jonathan would come into it, I'd be like, I don't know. But
it's something very irritating. Anyway, let's carry on.
So exciting your life is, you know, that was the joke. You know, a lot of people laughed at that at the time.
You know? I don't know, like, I don't think it's very funny to be making those jokes with children. Anyways, with the cold shower thing as well, a lot of people, obviously, I don't think they know what you said about it. So obviously you said it was a joke or something, and how the shower...
I didn't say it was a joke, that it was a misunderstanding.
Okay, but you said that, like, something along the lines of, like, the shower changed to cold while you was showering one of your children or something. But also, because a lot of these videos come up on my For You page, and I watch them all the time because I just think it's interesting.
Did you know about the cold shower business?
Oh yeah.
What do you think
I
about
think what
that?
he's saying right there is, I think what he's saying right there is bullcrap, basically.
Yeah.
Like, it's so obvious what was said, because like you can even find snippets of it on my channel, because I did a video about it, but there's loads of the videos on TikTok like circulating. But
Mhm.
yeah, what we all know what he said. Like, we all know that they both said that she had a cold shower. Like, there's no trying to flip it into anything else, because it's so
Yeah.
obvious what they said. And they then came back with an apology video. They then said, oh, we were reading this. It was like an Irish Telegraph. I don't know what the newspaper is, not from Ireland, but there was like an Irish article about how giving cold showers is like, after they've to like clean up mess stuff, just make it unpleasant, basically. They were linking that and stuff. They were, you know, even through their apology video, they weren't actually apologizing. They were just saying, oh, we should have, you know, Jonathan was saying, oh, I should have done better at editing it out and all of this kind of stuff, not actually apologizing.
Exactly.
So it was from that moment people were a bit like, because it's like gaslighting. It's trying to say they didn't say something when we know that they did. And this is the problem. So anything he then says, even if it is, even about the Mile High Club thing, even if that is genuinely what he meant and it was innocent, even though I wouldn't personally say it, anything he then tries to say after that cold shower thing, you can't really believe it, because he's just trying to gaslight you by telling you something isn't true. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do think he's a master of gaslighting, and I hate to say it, I think he uses it on his children, and that's how he gets them to perform.
Yeah,
I know that's quite a statement to make, but that's how I feel about him.
Do you reckon
I think
Anna
in the
does
video,
it well,
Anna
then?
said that you have to do it because she feels bad doing it, and she says it's a form of discipline. So I don't understand how it's a misunderstanding, but why Anna's saying it's a form of discipline.
Because again, you know, how we talked about this originally was that it was just poor editing on my hand. Like, we didn't know how to deal with a problem. We went to a parent forum, a very well-known parent forum. If you Google it now, it still tells you to do what we did.
So he's probably talking about Mum's Net or something like that. But
they do say that in Mum's Net as well. There is literally, you can still find all of this.
Yeah. But why not just hold your hands up and say, yeah, we did try it as a form of discipline, and we realized that it was the wrong thing to do, and we would never do it again. Instead of trying to skip around it and make out that it was done in all innocence. They're grown people. They should know what's right and what's wrong, and how you should and shouldn't treat children. And shoving them in under a cold shower is not the way that you treat children to get them to behave.
No, that's what I don't. Yeah, I don't believe in like physical punishments and stuff.
No, I don't.
I just don't think it does any good. But it's really hard to know, because we weren't there. We don't know actually to what extent it was a cold shower. So this is so hard, because they did point this out. You know, as soon as you say cold shower, you instantly think of like submerging someone in cold water. Do you know what I mean? You don't think so. We just don't know. But I just don't like the idea of cold shower and children being anywhere near each other. So
no, I agree.
And then we were like, oh, I can't do it. And then I was like, I can't do it either. So we didn't do it. And then when I came downstairs, I had just, I didn't know she was filming. And she was like, oh, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm trying to sort it out, but I couldn't do it, you know? And then it just ended up as a stupid clip, and it was COVID and we weren't thinking. And then it went out of hand, and I'm like, but if that was actually happening, our kids would tell you guys. Like, they go to school every single day, you know? And the amount of times people report us to places, for that particular one got reported so much, like, there's third party involvement all the time, you know, and it would be highlighted, and it would be, you know, fixed or sorted out, or somebody would know that this actually happened, but it didn't, you know? And I'm sorry that people are thinking that way, and it's really sad. You know, I love my kids. I would never do that to them, you know?
I think that in regards with you saying that obviously the kids go to school every day, a lot of kids feel like they don't want to say that they're being, I'm not saying your kids are being abused, but a lot of kids don't want to tell teachers that they're being abused because, like, obviously they might be scared of that they're going to be taken out of their home, or like, I'm not saying this is happening, but you might be telling them, right, you can't say this, otherwise this is going to happen, something bad will happen.
How old are you?
21.
21.
Oh, she's younger.
So do you remember? You must remember what it was like 10 years ago for you, right?
In terms of what?
When you were 10.
Well,
You
like,
see
in
what I
terms of
mean?
what,
It's just
though?
so like, you've never put yourself through this, would you?
No.
But then again, I don't know why he's saying that. I mean, I would never choose to say that. As much as I dislike what they do, I would never say that to them because I don't know. I think I just wait. I think I wouldn't have worded it like that for sure. I would get annoyed if someone said that to me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
If you say the word abused and then your kid, I would literally be like through the screen. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I do understand that. But I think
I'm sympathizing with Jonathan here. Like,
yes, I know.
I'm not sympathizing with him.
I just realised that you're sympathising with Jonathan. I can understand.
You gotta be like, you gotta see both
saying.
sides of it. He is
Yeah.
a bit, you know, he isn't great, but I also wouldn't like it if someone said that to me. But then there's going to be people that say, well, you should say that to them. And then I just do this. I don't know.
I know. It's difficult. That's why it's quite nice to watch it with you, because you do see it differently to how I see it in certain bits.
I think I need a rougher. No, it's fine. Well, this is what I mean. You're perfect to watch it with as well, because we're both like opposite. We can agree on one thing, and we're also like, we can see opposite sides of it.
Yeah, and you know, there's a part of me thinking, well, he's put himself into the public eye, and he's put his children into the public eye into such a degree that there are going to be people that are going to question him.
Oh, yeah.
And also by doing this that he's obviously agreed to do, unless he's managed to doctor all the questions that are going to be asked, he is going to be asked questions about the most sort of what's the word, problematic situations people might have seen him in with his kids.
Oh, yeah.
And he has been very problematic. You know, so I would sort of look at it from that way.
Oh, yeah, hands down.
But then I do understand.
Oh, yeah.
you
No, hands
saying,
down. Hands down.
Yeah. I understand you saying, well, you know, as a mum, I'd be blooming annoyed if somebody said that to me. But then I don't think you'd be in that position.
No, I'd like to think I wouldn't.
No, I don't think you would be somehow.
In terms of your awareness of life.
Right.
Weren't you able to talk all the time about self? You know what I mean?
Obviously, but like, if I don't know if this obviously goes for everyone, but if I was being abused, I'd feel so scared to tell someone out of fear of being taken away from what I know and my family.
But you not see how dangerous it is for you, you know what I mean, to say things like that about a person. You know, the liability of it, the dangerous implications of saying those things, like, are really, you know, you have to be really careful. And, you know, we put our name out on our content, you know, but we're always very held.
Sorry?
It's his accent. Sometimes he doesn't, I don't think he actually means to do it, but sometimes he mispronounces things. I just.
Yeah. Implications that he's
I do it as well. I cannot talk. I mispronounce things all the time, but somehow when he does it, it's like.
I know. I think you're very clear, actually. Your diction's very clear. Mine's terrible. I lose track of where I'm going with a conversation or a sentence even. So it's not easy, but yeah.
Accountable for everything we say because we're public profiles people, but then, you know what I mean? See, this is the thing. People say he's panicking, he's twisting it. There's no panic, there's no twisting, there's nothing, you know? It's how do I know you are not doing something to somebody else? You know what I mean? I'm like, we've publicly broadcasted our life for so long. I'm like, I don't think we'd be able to hide those things.
Of course you could.
I
Of course
think
you
I
could.
just think it's
hide
very
it
easy
anyway.
to
He
hide.
does such a bad
Anyways,
job
my
of
next
hiding things.
question. This a lot
To
of people are saying
clarify, to clarify, after that happened, which was 3 or 4 years ago, and it blew up, we actually, to make sure that this was all okay, we actually brought social services in and we contacted them, and they talked to all of our children without us present, individually. Because I said, like, if there's anything, if my children are unhappy, you know, to still, like, some of my children are in therapy now, third party, I'm not involved in it, and they talk to.
Do you know what? I don't believe this. I'm sorry, but I don't believe they went to the social services and with
put that in. No, bollocks.
I just can't believe that. I mean, I would pick him up on that. I mean, we know we're both in England or Britain. We know how busy the social services are. And I cannot believe that he contacted them and said, come and interview my kids.
He didn't.
That didn't happen.
It's also a complete waste of their time. Complete waste of their time. If you know that you're not doing anything wrong, you're going to be selfish enough to drag them in. Nah, it's not true. I reckon they might have got contacted by them, or it didn't happen at all.
Yes. I believe that maybe they did get contacted by them. I remember them doing
They have
a video
loads of time.
Sorry?
They have loads of time.
Yes, yeah. I remember them doing a video years ago, and it was quite an upsetting one because it was about trolls, and it was about how far they were prepared to go, how they would like track down which school the kids went to and things like that. And I remember feeling sorry for them as a family and thinking, yeah, oh God, that must be awful. You know, all the things that he was saying about it. And I think because of that, or that's part of the reason now that I've dipped back into that family again, I can't understand why it's going the way it's going. Why is he still perpetrating problems within that family? And I think, you know, the finger of guilt has to go towards Jonathan. That's my view.
Yeah.
You know,
well,
and
Anna,
Anna has stepped back so many times, and I think it's because of the way Jonathan is. I'm sure she's said, you know, I'm sure there's been times when she said, Jonathan, I can't go on camera if you keep doing that. If you say that again, I can't do it. I can just imagine that happening. But he just can't help himself. That's what I honestly believe.
It's how they make money. They've got to keep up their relevance, and they've got to have people talk about them. People bang on about commentary channels, giving them a hard time and stuff. If they don't have us to talk about them, they will fade into obscurity. It's like what we were saying about, I don't even know if I should bring this up, but it was like what we were saying about Foodie Beauty and all of that. They need those, they need the drama channels and stuff to report on them, because otherwise they'll just start fading out. And the Saccone Jolys, I don't know how many fans they have left, but they don't have as many as they used to. It's difficult.
No. And I think also, I mean, when they started 14 years ago, they were quite sort of, it was quite unusual, you know, to have a family who were vlogging every single day. Whereas nowadays, there may be a few more, but it's also it's sort of shunned upon now. I think the the excitement or the initial interest has gone now, and people are like, oh no, you shouldn't really be doing that, and then complaining because your child is being singled out, you know, at school, because it happens. So
I think it's pretty mad how a lot of the people who, like myself and you, for instance, have these stronger feelings about family vloggers, but we were all viewers of them, but have sort of come out the other side.
Yeah.
And actually, most of the people who are now on the other side of the fence are going, well, I used to watch them and I now don't disagree with it. And they're just trying to like rope those other people back over. Do you know what I mean? But everyone
Yeah.
started off being a viewer. I think it's quite rare to find people who never used to view family content.
Yes. I mean, it's like I said to you before we came on. I will only talk about what I know about, and that includes content creators. You know, I've spoken about various content creators in the past, and they're people that I used to follow. So, you know, I haven't just sat down and watched a whole clump of their videos and then not said, you know, and then decided, oh yeah, I'm going to talk about them. I've been fans of theirs. It's like I used to watch this guy called Peter Mon. I was a really big fan of his. I used to watch him every day. And it's the same with the Saccone Jolys. I used to really enjoy it. But then I think there comes a point when you feel that you're being exploited or they're exploiting their family, as I feel with the Saccone Jolys, then I think you start to take a step back. And and I think a lot of people do the same thing, to be honest.
These third-party people about what's going on in their life and how they feel and all those kind of things, because I want my children to be happy. And I do understand that things are very complicated these days with mental health, and COVID really messed them up. So, you know, we are trying to, like, we're not, you know what I mean? Same as when the Sky News people came, they were left alone with Edie to talk to Edie. Because I was like, you can just talk away to her. You know, I know the argument you can say is like, well, maybe they wouldn't be afraid to. I'm like,
Okay. A lot of people in the comments, as you were saying that, they were talking about, this video has come up on my TikTok as well. It's a video of Anna putting a child in the car seat and she kind of digs her nails into them. I think a lot of people just want you to explain that.
I haven't actually seen that video. I don't think Anna would do that. I feel like maybe it's an edit or something, or I don't even know if Anna was like.
I don't know whether you saw that one, Amy, but apparently there's a video where Anna is seen putting the child in the car seat, and she was putting her fingers in, and the child went, ow.
I've heard about this, but I've never seen it. Do you know what I mean? I've never seen it. No, because I've never seen it, I can't really comment on it. I don't know. But I've never actually seen that one, to be honest.
I think you're so fair, Amy. I love it. I wish I could be much more fairer than I actually am.
I'm not usually very fair. That's the problem.
Oh, I think you are.
I can get a right mood on if I really, really want to. Everyone always says this. They're like, oh, you're so nice. It's like, yeah.
That's how I think you come across. I wanted to just touch. Okay, I wanted to touch on this one.
Finding out your gender identity, it takes a long time. And like, you're going to doubt yourself. You might think you're non-binary, and then you might realize you're trans, and you might feel like, no, maybe I'm not. Maybe I just am a girl, but want to present more masculine. And I think they need to kind of slow down a bit, because if it's Edie's journey and it's going to take her time, and asking all these questions is just putting so much pressure on it. And yes, Edie might change her mind when
I like this girl.
Like, no, I think I actually am a boy.
More articulate. That is
completely fine.
Yeah.
And as long as
the other girl's nice as well, but
having these like,
I think it might be the same girl.
And
that's good. The icon's different.
She can discover herself. And
they're
also,
different.
What was I going to say? Sorry, I'm so forgetful too. I probably have ADHD. I'm being tested. So you get
to answer what you said there, so you can think about it. Is myself and Anna were terrified, you know, and we were like, oh my goodness, like, we need to make the right decision. What if this is a moment? What if this is a mood? What if we let her get just out of her system, and then she changes her mind? And You know what I mean? As a parent, you're like, I don't know. So what we did is that we set something in place. I can't tell the world what that is, you know, but
Why
we
not?
set something
Why
in
can't
place
they
that
tell
Edie
us?
knows that she can go and
I know,
get
yeah.
Eduardo whenever she wants. And if she wants to get Eduardo and become Eduardo, she can do it. And if that, you know, hypothetically, if that ever did happen, I think she would always look back and know that, like, her and all her siblings would know that her parents are willing to support all of them, no matter what they do, you know. And there is another identity thing going on in our family that we have not chosen to share, or more so because the person who's affecting doesn't want to share it, versus Edie.
Why bring that up? Why bring that up? It's speculation. I've seen this one before, and when I first watched it as well, I was just like, why, if it's not relevant, why bring it up? Saying, oh, there's another person in the family who's having issues. It's like, just, why? This is what I mean. You shouldn't speak. And now you're going to have people going, oh, I wonder who it is. And there's only, what, 2 other kids who you could kind of see it being. I'm not going to name names, but two of the older ones. It's not going to be the little one, is it?
No, exactly.
So it's just like, it's not like you have like 20 children. You only really have 2 other options. So
Yeah,
it's just,
unless it's Anna.
Unnecessary. It's unnecessary. Oh, yeah, unless it's Anna.
Unless it's Anna. I mean, I thought that as well. Why give that information out there? Because he knows that people are going to be, you know, questioning it or looking at the children and thinking, oh, you know.
No one picked up on that, though. I'm actually quite happy that very few people actually ran with that, because we're given what he wanted. I didn't see anyone questioning that. I remember screaming inside my head, going, "Why are you doing this?" Like, no one ever talked about it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I don't know. Weird. I would never do that. Like, I just can't imagine living in this world where you have to divulge this information about your kids like that. I just.
You know, when you were talking about their management a little bit earlier, are they still with them?
Yeah.
Do you know? They're still with them.
No.
I wonder if they've got any management now, because he just seems a bit.
I don't think they do.
Card.
No, they definitely don't have Gleam anymore. I think they addressed it somewhere. I don't know where, but they definitely addressed it. They're not with Gleam anymore, but they I don't know if they have management now. I mean, I hope they don't, because whoever it is should be fired, because they are just awful at PR. Like, they're so
PR
bad.
Is terrible.
It's non-existent.
But also, I don't know if you'll agree with me, but seeing Jonathan the way he is, I can imagine he would be an absolute nightmare to manage. I can imagine that he thinks he knows it all. He's been doing it for so long. Look how big my platform is, kind of attitude. So I think he would be a nightmare for anybody. So
he says that one of the reasons why he's not with them anymore is because they wanted him to do more child-led content.
I don't believe that.
But the thing is, with the child-led content, I think what he's referring to is doing the challenges and the, like, fill your house with ball. I don't know, but they used to do stuff like that, though, didn't they? They used to do, like, the marshmallow challenge and stuff. I don't know. I vaguely remember this. Yeah, I vaguely remember that. I hated that challenge. I hated watching kids do it. It made me so uncomfortable. I was just like, "You're gonna choke. You're gonna choke." Oh, yeah, I couldn't stand it. It's so dangerous to do that, you know. It's so dangerous. If I see my kid putting in any more than 2 marshmallows, I'm literally like, spit it out, spit it out, spit.
Yeah,
I can't cope with it. No.
I know. Maybe, you know, they stopped doing challenges because of that, because of, you know, health and safety, because it's not good to do it. Yes, you do get people on TikTok do stupid things, but generally speaking, it's adults and it's not kids. I know that you do get American families. There was an American family that I watched. Every so often I'd dip in and watch them, and oh God, their life was one big challenge. And I thought, I just can't watch it anymore. It was just awful.
Be quite fun. It might be quite fun to a certain extent, a couple times for the kids, but wouldn't it get quite confusing doing that all the time?
Yeah.
I'd be quite confused. I think my kids would find it fun. It depends what it was. I mean, Lossie's like 2, shouldn't know what's going on, but yeah. But after like do one every single day, like they'd be really confused. Like, oh, I'm just gonna set up the camera and just do this. They'd be so confused.
Yeah.
I mean, I've shown my kids. Like my kids, I used to do a little bit of sort of like, I wouldn't call it mummy vlogging because it wasn't really. It was just kind of showing what I was doing as a mum, like, but it was like me kind of thing. And yeah, my kids have shown, but nothing in any, it will be like me doing something and then the kid will like walk past kind of thing. So
yeah,
I've never divulged any personal information. I've always kept it very like, I was mostly doing like grocery hauls and cleaning and stuff, but my kids are always here. But yeah, but I mean that whole thing is so oversaturated with a lot of people that just do like push their kids a bit too much.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm very split.
Yeah, I don't think. I think it got to the point where the family vloggers felt that it wasn't enough just to show them doing their everyday things, and I think that's a shame because if I was watching, I don't want to watch a family that's going to do something stupid and one of the kids is going to end up getting hurt. That's not what I would, that's not what I want to see. And I think perhaps it sort of got to that stage with Jonathan. I mean, have you seen the birthday parties they give their children?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's all that. It's not just them, it's all of the big YouTubers. And the thing is that they all have like either, I think Americans call them like vendors and stuff. Like they have like people that will supply that basically supply everything, and then the parents will then tag it all, and it's really fake. I mean, I'm sure it's lovely, but I just can't really imagine doing it that way.
Well, I mean, my grandkids,
it's really
they get big birthdays. The girls like, I mean, my granddaughter, she's 12, one of them, and she goes to like sauna parties and things like that, and makeup parties and things like that. But there's nothing on the scale that his children had, and I just thought, oh my God, the amount of money they must have spent on that is just mind blowing. I don't agree with over spoiling. Is that such a word? I spoil my kids. I'm terrible. But
I know.
Can't help it.
Who is just obsessed with TikToks, and all she wants, you know what I mean? She sees herself on stage in the future. Like she walks around the house singing and dancing, and she's in musical theater. She does stage shows. She's up for the drama, and she loves it. Like where that's not the same as everyone else, and that's why Edie's journey seems more public and seems like that's the only person I make videos with. It's only because it's the one that wants to make videos.
Do you believe that?
No, not really.
I don't believe it.
I think Edie does what she does to please her dad, but I don't have any proof of that. But I just feel that looking at her back when, she was always very, very shy and like didn't really want to be on the camera.
Yeah.
And used to not actually want to participate. And maybe that does then fit into their narrative of she's now able to express herself. But I feel like whenever we see her expressing herself, it always feels quite forced, as if it's almost scripted. Do you see what I mean? Because you mostly see her on TikTok and stuff, so it's hard. But no, I don't know. I just
wonder
don't really buy what
No, I wonder if he's considered the relationships with his siblings in this. Jonathan, I mean, I wonder how Amelia feels about her younger brother now being her younger sister, because they're very close in age, aren't they? All of them are very close in age. And I mean, that's for me, that means that there's a totally different dynamic between his children, and I don't want to get, I don't want to come across as transphobic or anything like that, but I'm a mother, I'm a grandmother. I think I know enough about children to know how they may feel in certain situations. I had 2 girls, the same as I know you've got, Amy, and they were as different as chalk and cheese. One of them loved all the
Yeah.
frills and everything. The other one was a tomboy. But you don't label them. You don't say, oh, well, you're 2 girls, so you've got to have, your hair in ribbons, and you've got to do this and do that. I allowed the daughter that wasn't into the ribbons and everything. I allowed her to play with cars, to wear trousers all the time. I think the problem comes is when you then stick a label on them, as I feel that Jonathan has done. He's stuck a label on that boy now and said, okay, because you like to do this, because you were skipping through the house singing the hills are alive to the sound of music or whatever, you can be a girl if you want to be now. For me, that's wrong. I cannot help but feel that is wrong in my experience as a mother and in my experience as a grandmother. How do you feel about that? Because you're much younger than me. How do
This is
you
the problem.
feel?
I'm very conflicted because, I'm really conflicted because in one way I want to trust what Jonathan is telling us. And if that is the case, I've only ever met one person who, I'm not going to name names or anything like that, but how old was I? I was about 13, and I think they were a couple years older than me. A teenager, but they were born female and wanted to then transition, and they knew from the ages of about 8 or 9. So by the time I actually met him, he I had no idea that he was ever a girl. I always assumed. So because I met someone that was quite young when they found out, wasn't quite the age of Edie, but I understand that it could be true. This is the thing. I do believe that it could very well be true, and Jonathan's just exploiting it, or it could be completely fabricated. But this is why it's so difficult. So I'm very conflicted because I don't really trust anything he says. So it's just like, but I don't want him. I don't want for this to be something he's just made up for you, because that would be just the lowest of the low.
Yeah.
Or he's just putting a label on her without actually taking her to therapy and things. And it's just, unless I'm there, I just can't possibly tell.
I think
it's just so hard.
I think he does say in here that, he's in therapy. And if we just watch this, and then we'll it's been an hour, so we'll head off in a little while. But let's just
what I was going to say, I've remembered it now, is everyone's saying about hormone treatment, like, is she going to go on estrogen, etc. But I feel like for a lot of trans people, they end up going through their puberty a bit later, and they go on something called hormone blockers. They don't go through either the male or female, so that they don't get dysphoric about their body. And I feel like a lot of people are just not educated about being trans, so they're making all these accusations straight away, being like, what if she gets boobs and then doesn't like it when she's older? Like, there's plenty of time for it to be figured out, And
100%. Even on my journey, like, I don't know if you've read my book, but I talked about, when I was a kid, I found school really hard. I was bullied by everyone. I used to steal my sister's clothes. And I wanted to be a girl, and I invented all these invisible friends for me to have a girl relationship with. And, and then it got to the point where, I was being spat on by my parents. I was being beaten up in school. And I just decided that the only way I could have a normal life was if I pretended to be someone else. And I put all that away, and I locked it in this metaphorical box in my head. And I went on my life as a cisgendered person up until in my 30s, my brain just exploded one day, and it was like, you can't do that anymore. And now I'm a non-binary person. I'm not saying that that
he'd
is the
had
end of my
4
journey. I
kids
don't
by
know.
then.
I still don't understand me
Oh,
fully,
God.
but I do know that I definitely do not fit in the boy or the girl.
We're not
You know,
talking
so I
about
don't
you,
know
though, Jonathan.
where that is for me, and I'm still exploring it. And I think
We're
everyone
talking about
has the right to,
yourself.
throughout their
plug that
whole
book.
life, explore and challenge ideas and change. And you know, I just think we should just be fluid in our identities, our sexuality, everything. Just
Yeah,
you know, be whatever you want.
yeah. Great
It's
speech
like
there,
that.
Jonathan.
But this is what I mean, because it's just so I think it's maybe just because I know I've just got a lot of people around me who I know that do identify with different types of things, and he goes off on like huge rants about it. His whole if he started up on Instagram or wherever, just out of the block, being like, this is what I stand for and this is who I am and I'm going to add or whatever, people who agree with that would join. But it's the fact that he's come from being family channel Jonathan Joly to then trying to chaperone everyone into doing this one thing, and people aren't always going to agree. Do you see what I mean? It's why I don't get angry at people who won't quite jump on board with the whole Edie thing. I try and see their point of view, because you never really signed up for that in the very first place. It's all sort of been like pushed on everyone. So I try and get annoyed, but I get really annoyed when he starts plugging that book. I'm just like, shut up about the book, like shut up about this book. I've just had it. It's ridiculous.
I know.
It can't go a day without talking about that book. Like, oh,
maybe
gosh.
It's not doing too well. I
don't think it is. I
think if, as you say, if it had been a different person, it might have been accepted more. People may have sort of accepted it a lot better. But I think because of Jonathan's background and because of his channel and what he's done on his channel, I think it's a bit of a stretch to actually believe what he's saying. It's almost like, you know, he's filling this basket up all the time. And I mean, I tell you, the time when he said that he was sexually abused, I was so angry about that, because I thought, for one, it was a clickbait, in my opinion, because it turned out that he was 19, something like that. He'd gone out drinking, he'd met this guy who said, oh, why don't you come back? I can help you with your music business. And this guy had tried it on. That was it. But so it wasn't child sexual abuse. And that made me angry, because I thought, there are people out there who have suffered that. How dare you come up with a story just so that you can gain financially on it? I don't like it. So that was like the first one. And the baby incident coming down the stairs and all the other clickbaity subjects. And I think if people have been following this family for as long as I have, they will take everything that he says with a pinch of salt, because it's all about the clickbait. I don't believe for 1 second he's non-binary. I really don't. Has he ever shown any signs of being non-binary? No. And I think I mean, he's been on there for 14 years. I think it may have come up a bit sooner. And don't you think it's strange that he's now coming out with a transgender child? I mean, that's more than coincidence in my book. But then I think I'm more cynical than you, Amy.
I try and see the good in everyone.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing wrong in that. There's nothing wrong in that. And Amy, I want to say a huge thank you for coming in. I don't know where everybody is, but no doubt they'll watch it on the replay. But I want to say thank you so much for coming in, Amy. It was a great discussion.
Worries.
Maybe we can do it again if he does something else that is like, ah!
He will. He always does. He will. Don't worry.
Now we know where we're both coming from, and it's quite nice when we're on opposite sides as well. You're much calmer.
I know.
than I am.
Maybe we should, if they do a Saccone Jolys like new vlog, maybe we should like sit on opposite sides of the thing. We should watch it.
Because you definitely do look at it differently, and I'm happy with that. You know, I like to see different sides of things, and I'm not always very good at it, but when I'm doing it online, if I'm doing like a reaction like I do with Sweet Talk, myself and Carsten, my co-host, we don't always agree. So yeah, it's nice to get somebody else's perspective on things. So
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's been lovely.
It's been an absolute pleasure, and I'm sorry we didn't have more people in the chat.
I don't even know who's here because I don't know how any of this works, so I've just been chatting.
No, we haven't had very many in here at all, but it doesn't matter. We've still managed to have a good old chat, and it's about something that we both know about, and you know, we've got things to talk about. So I'd love you to come back another time, Amy, if you'd like to. But in the meantime, I'm going to say bye-bye, and thank you so much for coming, Amy.
No worries. Thank you for having me. Bye.
Oh, that was lovely. What a lovely girl. So, guys, I'm going to go and wish you a very good week ahead. I hope you're well and warm. Oh, we've got warm weather now. So I will see you Sunday, I think, on Carsten's channel. So take care of yourselves out there, because it's a rotten old world. I'm going to do a bit of art promotion and then I'm out of here. So take care of yourselves, guys. Bye-bye for now. A question. If you had to paint a self-portrait, what would it look like? This is mine. This is why I'm the way I am, guys. Oh my God. But I love this. I love this image. And look at it. Imagine that in your dining room.